What's up everybody, it's JackGamer47 here, and I am back with the third part to my ranking the Arkham franchise villains. In this video I focus on the last game I'm able to record on, because like I said, they really need to make a remaster of Origin so I can record it. But this episode is on Arkham Knight. Now, as I've said in the other videos, I'm ranking these on how good the characters look, the villains I should say, what the build-up is like, how fun the battle is, and I kind of also factor in the difficulty a little bit. So yeah, I will be also some of the clips I mention might not be what your opinion is, but this is just my opinion, and this is based on my subjective opinion, not on how difficult the boss fight is, if it's good for the story, if you know what I mean, but all that kind of thing. But yeah, let's get started. Oh, before I start, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and let me know in the comments what your favorite boss fights are. So first up, we have Hush. Now, his is a cool design. I like the fight. Well, I don't like the fight. It's not really a fight, but it's an interesting sort of storyline where you have to take off your mask and reveal yourself to Hush as Batman, and then with the confusion you do a takedown. Now, when I first played this, I actually thought it was Bruce Wayne, actual Batman, who did that to Lucius Fox and not Hush. I didn't expect it to be Hush, so it did get me, but unfortunately it doesn't really have a build up, and yeah, it's literally just a simple takedown, hence why it's so low on the list. At number 22, I have placed Christina Bell. Now, there is some debate as to whether this is actually a boss fight or not, which is sort of the same with some of these clips, but I'll count it anyway because she's kind of a villain and you do a takedown on her. But sadly, that's all it is, so that's why she doesn't get any higher. But the build-up's pretty cool. You have to navigate through a horror movie studio while she shouts encouragement, thirsting over Batman. And then when you get to her, you literally bust down the door, which is pretty cool. And then you have a split second to dodge as Robin, to avoid getting scratched. And then you hit her to knock her out. But like I said, it's only a takedown, so this is why it's so low on the list. I like her design though. It's pretty cool. She's my second favorite Joker. At number 21, I have placed the Penguin. Now, first off, I don't particularly like this Penguin design. It sort of suits the aesthetic of the game, but I much prefer his animated TV series design. It's a lot cooler, and but yeah, the build-up's a bit repetitive, but okay. You have to follow trucks which you track to find a secret hideout and then blow up the weapon caches. And I love the fact that you can play as Nightwing as well, though, however, to do dual takedowns, and you can switch between the characters, which adds a little variety, and I really like it like that. But at the end of the day, it's literally just a takedown again, and you don't really fight him, so again, it's a bit debatable whether he's an actual boss fight or not. But yeah, yeah. At number 20, I have placed Man-Bat. Now, I love the Man-Bat design. It's actually really cool. And the build-up's okay. You have to track him 3 times to administer the cure. Sorry, twice. However, when you have to go and investigate the lab, I really struggle with the sort of helix spin thing where you have to make the cure for it. But I still don't really understand it. But you have to match the things to make the sequence complete, I guess, or something. But yeah, once it's fun to find him and take him down and inject the cure. And I have to say, Man-Bat's one of the best jump scares I think in any video game I have played. Every time it makes me jump, no matter how many times I play it. Next up, we have Harley Quinn. Now, I love her design I really like this one. I think it's my favorite one for her. Like, it looks really cool and like beautiful. And I love her hair and everything. And I like the fact that she's in control of like the gang. However, the build-up's good. Like, you have to fight 3 of the Joker infected, which are infected with the Joker blood, by going through the movie theater to find them. And then you finally do get to fight Harley Quinn, which is really, well, you don't really fight her. You get to see Harley Quinn, and then Robin distracts her whilst Batman does a takedown, which is really saddening for me because Harley Quinn's my favorite villain. But literally every main story of the game, you just take her down. The DLCs you actually fight her, but in the main story you just take her down, which is a bit lame, which is disappointing for my favorite villain in the game. At number 18, we have the militia attack chopper. Now, it looks pretty cool, and I like how it's being remotely controlled by the Arkham Knight. And personally, I find it quite entertaining. Like, you navigate through the Ace Chemicals to save these these Ace Chemical workers, and once you get back to the surface, you see the chopper and you have to fight it. And I love the fact you have to fight it in the Bat Tank. Now, the Bat Tank fights got a lot of hate. Like, I actually quite like them. But people were complaining they were overused, but I didn't mind them too much, to be honest. But it's a good intro boss, because it's really the first boss you fight in the game, and it's not too challenging. It's also difficult at the same time because your Batmobile is so underleveled, because it's literally with the earliest boss fight. But it's an interesting fight. You have to take down the chopper, which I think is really cool. And that's why it's kind of fun. But yeah, like I said, I just said I quite like the tank fight, but compared to the actual Batman fight, the tank fights rank a lot lower for me, even though I like them. At number 17, I have placed Two-Face, and Two-Face from the DLC Flip a Coin. The Two-Face DLC Flip a Coin being the better one of the two. I love his design. It's really cool. And in the Arkham Knight story, I like... sorry about the notification coming through. I like the fact you have to take out the enemy whilst they're taking money from the bank, and you have to do it before they take all of it. And yeah, you do it 3 times, and then in the third bank, Two-Face appears. However, in the bank, he has such a lame takedown. It's not even a proper takedown. He doesn't get in a cutscene. You literally just take him down as part of the soldiers you have to take out in the bank. So that's a bit disappointing. His Flip a Coin fight's a bit better. I like having to navigate around the mansion. It's a really nice mansion. It's a lot more interesting than the banks. I love the fact he's sitting on a throne, and you have to fight and you see him sitting there. However, again, in the Flip a Coin DLC, it's literally a quick time counter event which you have to do to counter a shot, and then you take him down, which is lame, but at least it's a lot better than the one in the museum where you literally just take him down as part of the actual combat rather than in a cutscene. And that's why they're so low. At number 16, I have placed the Cloudburst tank. Now, its introduction cutscene is actually really cool. You just see the tank go off and release tear gas, and then you are trapped on one of the islands with it, where you can't attack it head on, so you have to keep flanking around it to get behind it, where you can hit this fusion core or whatever, where it's at its weakest. What adds to the difficulty that you have to take out of some Cobra tanks as well, which makes it a little harder. But that's what makes it so good. You have to avoid. You have to like tactfully think about how to sneak behind it to fire at it to blow up the tank. And like that, it's a pretty cool combat encounter, and it's a good way for like Batman to end Scarecrow's plans, which is what's really good about it. So yeah, pretty good boss fight overall. At number 15, I have put Deathstroke and his Deathstroke tank. Now, the tank is actually a replica of the Cloudburst, which is a pretty good design. So, design-wise for the tank, it's pretty good. Deathstroke's design himself is also amazing. It looks really cool. I love it. But like I said, it's this year direct copy of the Cloudburst fight, so it isn't too bad. However, it's a bit disappointing that you literally only take down Deathstroke when literally he spends the whole game when he appears saying how you can take out all the militia, watchtowers and whatever, because then we'll actually fight like head on, mano a mano kind of thing. So it's a bit lame that literally all he is hiding in a tank. Like, it's literally a kind of like a hypocrite, and he doesn't even do what he says. At number 14, I have placed Firefly. Now, I quite like his design. It's pretty cool. The build-ups to his takedown are pretty cool. Like, you have to find the fire station and then put out the fires. And some people might not have liked this, I think, but to be honest, I quite enjoyed chasing him around in the Batmobile, wearing down his jetpack to then eject and pounce on him, beating him down a bit. And after you do it 3 times, you finally defeat him. And so yeah, although it's not a great fight, it's not a bad one by any means. At number 12, I have placed the Arkham Knight excavator drill. Now, the design of it's pretty cool. The dialogue's pretty cool. It's fun to drive through the tunnels and lead the excavator to the bombs where it blows up to defeat it. And it's not too difficult, but it can be a little difficult because the tunnels are so tight and combined. So it's a pretty good boss fight. Not too difficult, but also a little challenging. I mean, I failed a few times because I got caught by the drill because I was going too slow, even though I was felt like I was going at full speed, but not a too bad fight. At number 11, I have placed the Arkham Knight, aka Jason Todd. Now, I couldn't record the boss fight because I wasn't using a camera because I didn't have one, and on the PS5 they count it as a blocked scene, so you can't record it, just I guess to avoid spoilers, which is a bit disappointing, but so I couldn't record it. But I love the Arkham Knight design. I love the camo outfit and then the digital mask. That's really cool. The dialogue is really good and intense, because it's Batman trying to talk Jason Todd down, yeah. However, the fight itself is disappointing because you don't really fight him. You just literally sneak around, avoid his soldiers, and then jump onto his perch and talk to him, which somehow does damage to him. But yeah, so it's not the greatest boss fight, but I think it was a pretty good sort of reveal, even though it got some negative press from others. At number 10, I decided to play the Ra's al Ghul from the DLC, not the DLC, that was the Season of Infamy. This is, again, I wouldn't really call this a boss fight, but he's still a villain, so I've included him. But his design's okay. I mean, it shows that he's old and ragged, but I preferred his Arkham City design, and the fight, and he's nothing like Arkham City, so it's very disappointing, but it's fun to follow the assassin, get into the injured assassin, get into the hospital, find out about the war going on between the two factions of I don't really know. I can't remember what the organization is called, but there are the war between some who want to resurrect Raish and the others who want to defeat him. It's really cool to like talk to him and then get told to like get some of the Lazarus Pit like water, cure him, and then you run into Talia's sister, which is a pretty cool reveal, who's against reviving her father. But yeah, and once you get back to the hospital, you have a choice of to whether to cure Raish or not. If you cure him, he kills Nissa and like disappears. But if you choose to not give him the cure, you destroy the Lazarus machine and sort of take him out, which is really good because it sort of like weighs up Batman's dilemma of should he really kill people or not. And he doesn't really like killing people and all that. So despite it not really being a boss fight, I still think it's a pretty interesting dilemma for Batman, and it's a pretty interesting quest. I quite enjoy it. It's and it's just good, especially like the lore-wise for it. It's really good. But yeah, at number 9, I have placed Mr. Pig. Now, his design is creepy AF. Like, I really find this whole mission like really creepy and eerie. And his design really shows that, which is what makes it so good. The build-up to fighting him is pretty cool. Like, you have to fly around Gotham being an actual like detective, which is what Batman's also known for, scanning bodies to find out who the person is who's killing them and everything. The opera element is also adds to the eeriness of it, but adds sort of, I don't know, it adds a bit of character to Mr. Pig himself, which adds a nice touch, I think. And the boss fight itself is pretty intense and can be quite difficult. Like, the first couple of times I played it, I really struggled with it. You have to fight him and his Dolatrons, and the Dolatrons are like immune to like any like pain or anything, so you have to literally take them down and you take down on them to properly defeat them. And whilst you're doing that, you have to avoid Mr. Pig, who's chucking knives at you, which you can dodge and chuck back to like stun him for a brief second. But yeah, it's very satisfying when you like finally take out the Dolatron and are able to beat him, where you literally just smash him onto the table and literally break his mask to finishing him off, which is a really satisfying end to one of the creepiest Batman villains in this game, I would say, and maybe even in the whole like game, along with like he's kind of on the same level as Victor Zsasz in my opinion, which is really good. But yeah, it's a pretty good boss fight overall. At number 8, I have placed Azrael. Now, I kind of have mixed feelings about his design. Like, on one hand, I really like it, but on the other, it's kind of like ragged and off-putting. There's something not right with it. Like, it's also, I think, partly because I think the mask, it just weirdly like molds to his face, so it's hard to distinguish if it's actually just his face or the mask and what the mask actually is supposed to be. But again, it's sort of like one of those hockey masks like Jason uses in the Friday the 13th movies. But his side mission's pretty interesting. Like, you actually get to play as him to do trials for Batman, which you have to pass without getting hit, which can be quite difficult. I struggle with them quite a lot, especially on the first couple of times I played it, but that's just probably on me because I'm not very good at like not getting hit at free flow combat. But yeah, I like the fact that you test his ability and then you have to scan these symbols, which is like scrambling his brain. And then what really sells it for me and puts it this high is a choice you can actually make as Azrael himself. Like, that's what puts it a bit higher than the Ra's al Ghul fight, because you actually get to choose what to do as a villain, or sort of like anti-hero, I would say he is, or maybe an anti-villain. But I love the fact that you get two choices, whether to kill Batman, which ends up with you getting beaten by Batman, because obviously you can't sneak up on Batman like that and defeat him, or you break the sword and then you're free from the curse. But yeah, I really like the fight, and I think it's pretty good. At number 7, I have placed Albert King. Now, I quite like his design. It's actually pretty cool and looks really good. And his fight is like the best, like, infected Joker fight, because his is like literally the only like boss fight out of all of them. I love the dual takedowns you can do with Batman and Robin to defeat him by taking out the goons to charge it up, and if you miss, he actually recovers his health, which has a bit of difficulty. But the dual takedowns are really entertaining to do, and yeah, he's quite high on the list because he's actually one of the only like boss fights from like human boss fights from the main story, because all the other are either tank fights or like just takedowns, which makes it quite an entertaining fight, and hence why it's this high on the list. At number 6, I have placed Johnny Charisma. Now, I love his design. It's actually really cool. And the great sound stage where you have to do the fight on. And the song is amazing. Like, I said Albert King was the best boss fight because you actually like fight him as a boss. And the only reason this one's higher is because of the amazing song Joker sings, whilst you have to disarm the bomb as Robin. It's a little challenging to disarm the bomb and not get caught. Like, I struggled to do it the first time, and I got caught a few times. But the takedown, but it's a pretty good like fight, boss fight kind of. And I love the way you like then disarm the bomb jacket. And Johnny says no encore. So despite not really being a boss fight and the Albert King one being better, the song is what sells. Joker sings is what sells this for me, hence why it's higher than Albert King. At number 5, I have placed Mad Hatter. Now, I love this Mad Hatter design. It's my favorite one out of all of them. He looks this one he looks the least scrawny, I guess. Like, there's nothing wrong with being scrawny, but like, but I just find this design a lot more attractive. I love the mission. Like, you have to find the police cars, disarm the bombs inside, and then once you save all the cops, you actually go back to the GCPD to find the last cop. Now, you don't really fight him, Mad Hatter. So it's not really a boss fight, but I still find it really entertaining to like navigate around the book. Like, he uses Batman's Adventures in Wonderland, which is all the which like has like 3 pages all from the Arkham Asylum game, Arkham City, and then Arkham Knight, which is a pretty good like flashback to it. And I love the fact that you have to avoid taking out the cop in the rabbit mask, but you have to save him. And like I said, I probably should put it lower, but I just like Mad Hatter as a villain so much, and his boss fights are really entertaining. Hence why I put it this high on the list. At number 4, I have placed Riddler. Now, this is my favorite design for him. Like, out of the 2 games you've actually like fought him, I played, which you fight him, Arkham City and Arkham Knight. This design for him is my favorite. Like, it's his one in Arkham City is a bit lame and nerd-like, but this design is a lot more badass. Like I said in the Arkham City game, I don't mind collecting the Riddler trophies too much. I really enjoy doing it, and I find it fun to do. They can be a bit tedious though. I don't particularly like the races you have to do because they're really hard, or I really struggle with them. But I think that's just because I'm not very good at driving cars in video games. Like, give me a motorbike in a video game and I'm okay at it. But with cars, I just don't get how to handle them and control them in video games. What I also like is that after you complete each trial he gives you, you get to unlock a screen which shows you what key of the location of the key you need to disable take off a number on the collar Catwoman's wearing to allow her to take it off, which is pretty good and adds a bit of difficulty to it because the rotation of it is different, so it makes you think to get to the right angle to find it. And going and continuing with Catwoman, I like the fact that you actually play her in some of the side missions, some of the objectives you have to do, like you team up with Batman to solve riddles in the orphanage, which is really fun. And his main boss fight is also really entertaining. Like, I love the mech he has; it's really cool. And his design and the fact he's piloting it is really fun as well. I like the fact that he's fighting mech in three stages, and in the first stage anyone can damage it. In the second stage it has to be Catwoman because it goes red, and in the final stage you have to play as Batman. And there's switches, so you can't use the wrong character. What's also good is that the robots as well are red and blue, depending on so unique for each character, which also adds even more difficulty because there's been a few occasions where I've accidentally run into the wrong colored robot without meaning to. And the takedown you do on him has to be one of the best in any Arkham game I've seen. Like, literally, you pull him out of the mech, and then Catwoman knocks him to the floor, and then Batman just jumps on him to finish him off. And that's such a cool takedown. It's one of the best in any Arkham game, maybe in any video game ever. And it's a good boss fight. At number 4, I have placed the Nightwing fight from the Harley Quinn DLC. Now, I've got my number order a bit wrong, so sorry about that, but the Nightwing fight is number 4. So, and the Riddler fight was supposed to be number 5. So I think I've messed up the order a little bit. But anyway, this fight I've seen from other boss fight ranking videos of the Arkham games. A lot of people have said this fight's not very good. But I personally quite enjoy it because it's actually quite refreshing to fight a hero instead of a villain. I love the fact that you can't attack him head on, so it adds a bit of difficulty because you have to keep jumping over him to actually damage him while avoiding the electric batons. And again, it's just fun to play as Harley Quinn. Her abilities are a bit limited, but it's actually it's really fun to play as her. And it's I think it's one of the only DLCs where you play as a villain and actually fight a hero. I think other DLCs, it's always just a hero fighting the villain, which is really refreshing. And but yeah, it's a pretty entertaining boss fight. I quite enjoy it, and that's why it is at number 4. And yeah, the fact her Poison Ivy helps you as well in the end cutscene is pretty funny. At number 3, I have placed Black Mask. Now, I love this DLC because you get to play as Red Hood, and he's really fun to play. Because you actually use weapons and you actually take people out, which is really, really good. Well, not really good, but it's refreshing to have someone who actually takes out villains rather than just knocks them out like Batman. The actual boss fight itself is pretty entertaining. You fight him alongside a bunch of thugs, which is pretty fun and has a bit of difficulty because you've got to avoid him and take out the thugs and avoid the thugs as well as avoiding him and doing damage to him. And I don't know if it was just me not using the abilities and stuff correctly, but it seems like he had quite a lot of HP and it was actually quite hard to took a while to actually do any damage, do any meaningful damage to him, which is really good. But I love the sort of tech where you have to dodge the bullet from his weapon and then fire back to counter it. And then the end cutscene's pretty badass where you like chuck him out of the building, and yeah, it's a pretty good boss fight. I quite enjoy it. It's really fun to play. At number 2, I have placed Killer Croc from the Season of Infamy extra boss villain fight. Love his design. It's a bit creepy and sort of makes him more crocodile-like, which is really good. I love the dual takedowns you can do with Nightwing as well. Like, I quite enjoy that because you can also like play as a Nightwing, which is really fun. But yeah, the atmosphere is pretty good. Like, you have to navigate this prison ship to do it, and yeah, great story. It's really fun, and the fact Batman says that the real monsters are the wardens on the airship because they're the ones being unethical and doing bad experiments. It sort of adds to like gives Croc a more humane like feel to him, and like Batman understanding him a lot more, which is really good. And yeah, generally it's a good boss fight. It plays a lot like the other duel encounters, but I think it's really fun because Nightwing is badass as well. So yeah, and finally at number 1, I have placed Harley Quinn and the Joker from the Matter of Family DLC. I love their designs. They're very, very cool, and they both look amazing. I love the fact that you have to navigate around this like theme park, saving cops and fighting thugs and disarming bombs and stuff. It's and it's really entertaining and fun. It's quite a long DLC as well, which is really nice. But the actual fight at the end, where you fight both Harley Quinn and Joker, is really good because like both Harley Quinn and Joker have their unique attack, like a unique like undodgeable but dodgeable attack. Like with the Joker, he attacks you with the knife and then you knock him back, and then he pulls out a gun, and then you have to call the other player to knock the gun out of his hand and do damage, which is really cool. And then for Harley Quinn, Joker chucks this like a smoke grenade or something, and Harley Quinn just pops out of the smoke, and you can't dodge her, so you have to call on your teammate to knock her back. And yeah, it's really good because you actually fight Harley Quinn and the Joker, like, which is the only other time you do it. So like with the Joker, like the only time you really fight the Joker is in Arkham Asylum, and but it's really refreshing to actually have Joker as a boss fight and Harley Quinn as well, and it's really entertaining, and that's why it's the number 1 boss fight for me from the Batman Arkham Knight game. Okay, I was just about to finish the video, but I realized I forgot to rank Deacon Blackfire. If I was to rank him, he'd probably go between probably Deathstroke and Firefly, because you don't really fight him again. It's literally just a takedown, and yeah, but to get to him, you have to knock out the followers he has, and then disable the electric fences to get through the grate to to take him down and save Jack Ryder. So yeah, not the best, and I would have ranked it between Deathstroke and Firefly. But yeah, this one is quite a long video. There's a lot of boss fights with this one, but I've got through them all now. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider liking and subscribing, and let me know in the comments which boss fights were your favorite. My opinion is probably really different to yours, and my placements might be totally different to what yours would be. So yeah, it'd be nice to know, find out what your favorites are in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.